host of the Sage Steele show, Sage Steele. So tell me what you think. What should the athletic governing body for the WNBA do? Should they say it's only going to be for women, or is this really, hey, put your money where your mouth is?
Are you talking specifically about potentially bringing Juliet over to the WNBA?
Yeah, would that be fair?
Listen, yes, it would be fair if a team from the WNBA believes that Juliet can help the team. Could he? I should say, I'm going to say he, by the way, because that's exactly what he is. Yeah, probably. But at the end of the day, right now, the WNBA consists primarily of women who have come through the traditional route, which is the WNBA draft. Only about 15 of the 200 players in the WNBA have come from outside leagues in other countries. So it isn't a common practice. What I don't want the WNBA to do is to go over and say, okay, we will prove what we're saying here and bring them over just because they're trying to silence the critics. That's not the reason to do it, honestly. I mean, you can listen to social media all you want, but that's not if he can truly help a team, certainly go do it. And then everybody would certainly be able to say, all right, they're putting their money where their mouth is. They don't need to do that. They don't need to do that right now. So I don't believe it would happen. And even if they wanted to, that's the question. Would they actually do it? I don't believe, ladies, that they would do it because we know what would happen. We know the differences between men and women. And he is averaging over 28 points per game. As you said, he's 6'3", he's a big guy. But right now they don't need to do it. He's 34 years old. I would love it, but I don't want them to react just because we say they should. I'm trying to be fair about this thing.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're finding a lot of athletes who are out there. They're talking about fairness and just how, whether you agree with transgender rights or not, even Coco Gauff, she came out, the tennis star, saying that this isn't about that. It's also about women's right to play in a sport. Also, Sophie Cunningham, she spoke out against transgender women competing in women's sports. In an interview on Wednesday afternoon, Cunningham expressed frustration that her comments have become a distraction. Let's watch.
I think that there's a lot to be said, and I'm going to let people just do the speaking for themselves. But for me, I want to get back to basketball. It's always been about basketball.
Yeah, Sage, what's your assessment of the WNBA right now? Do you think ultimately there'll be a point where we will see them take a stand against men in the WNBA? It is the women's basketball league, after all. There is the NBA for the men.
Exactly, and it's interesting that this is not happening in the reverse order,
right,
is it? So
no.
that is something that people seem to forget about. I want to start by saying, my goodness, thank you to Sophie Cunningham, who unfortunately has had to, be forced to display courage with an issue that is so very basic. So kudos to Sophie for doubling and tripling down. It is disappointing to see really nobody else coming to stand by her side, literally or figuratively, even people on her team, even Caitlin Clark. And at the end of the day, this is so basic. Do I think that they will go ahead and define what a woman is and do it like the International Olympic Committee has done or the Women's Tennis Association has done and said, hey, let's do one-time gender testing? I feel like they are going to stand on this thing just to not cave to the other side. And I also want to quickly point out the hypocrisy with what the two coaches, Natalie in Golden State and also the Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve, have said and done. I mean, with Natalie, you can say inclusivity and all that stuff. And you know what? Those are feelings. What are the facts about sports? Is that only the best make it? So let's deal with facts, not our feelings. And with what Cheryl Reeve, who you see there, what she wore on her shirt the other day against the Indiana Fever, trans kids belong. This isn't about trans kids. This is about professional women. So they're weaponizing these words and trying to play on our feelings versus the facts of what this is about. And this is about women. And the irony that 53 years of fighting for Title IX and all those women who benefited from Title IX are now silent. That's what I want to keep calling out. Not necessarily saying bring over the guy to prove a point. Focus on the facts here.
Very astute. Sage Steele, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.